Do we have matching cups? Kind of like this says some
Um,
shit on the front.
Mine says strong, fearless, and beautiful.
Oh, mine says gold digger.
Mine, hold on. It's just all puppies.
Oh, cheers, guys.
Sipping with the girls.
What do we think?
Ooh, those are cute.
I know there's some glare behind me. Or
I like them. Honestly, I like the big glasses that like were semi like dorky,
yes,
maybe in like the 70s and 80s, but they're like, I don't know. I think they're
they
cute.
are.
Like
Truthfully, I got these on. Fuck, what is that site? It sounds like Temu. It's similar, but they were $45. They're prescription and blue light.
Okay.
Can't be that. Even if I break them, I don't feel bad.
Exactly. It's like, no, we were recently like going through my grandma's stuff and she still had all her glasses from like the 60s and 70s. And I was like, they're a super strong prescription, so I can't wear them unless I change lenses. But I'm like, these are so cute.
You should keep them.
Yeah, keep them and change the lenses. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to.
Yeah.
Because like,
Nice little keep.
match with my face shape too.
Yeah, nice little like memoir of her.
Yeah.
I wish I had something
I like that.
nice like that from my grandmother. The only thing I have from like right before she passed away was my college graduation card, and I still have it like in my room in a frame.
Aw,
That's so
very
cute.
sweet.
I have a old like steel pot from my step grandma. My stepdad gave it to me because he knows that I like to bake and cook. So whenever I'm like making my morning oatmeal on the stovetop, I'm like having oats with grandma.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. It's
That's very
it's
cute.
like it's the little one too. So like obviously in off season it's like filled to the brim and I'm like carefully stirring it so it doesn't like start a fucking kitchen fire.
Like, this is my oatmeal pot no matter what.
this is my pot for sure. Y'all, do you know what I did today though? I was proactive last night. I was like, you know what? I'll make some overnight oats because I haven't done that in like honestly probably like 8 years. And so like this morning I got up and like it was a little bit more soupy than I would have liked, but I was like, you know what? Instead of like nuking it in the microwave and completely ruining like the whey protein to where it curdles, bake that shit. I baked it in the oven for like 40 minutes, right? And it came out, dog, it tasted like a souffle, French toast, and like an oatmeal cream pie all in one. And I was like,
Sounds good.
it slapped titties.
That sounds
so.
See,
It was so good.
I like oatmeal, but I like the taste of the flavored cream puff rice better. So what I make mine is I do like 40 grams of each, mix it up, put them in the microwave, and then put it in the fridge and have it the next day. Because then
So I do cream of rice on training days because it like digests really well. My pre-workout is pretty much all bowl of gains warm, but then my post-workout is like vegetables and like, you know, a normal-ish meal, but then my dessert is the brownie batter, but I will put it in the fridge and then the freezer the last 20 minutes and dog, it tastes like cake or like a frozen pudding. Love it.
I can't eat the brownie batter one.
I'll eat it for you. It's okay.
The one that so that's what I had right before I got freaking what was it when I was on vacation in Bahamas for the
like norovirus or whatever
that was the last thing I ate, and that's the only time I've ever had a like fooded version that I was like, I can't do it. And it was my favorite one too.
That is tragic because it's really the best one in my opinion. Mina, do you have any food aversions? Like when you got sick, you're like, I can't touch this.
For the longest time, it was green beans because I had like green beans, rice, and chicken before I got like it was my last meal, and so for like 4 years or so, couldn't do green beans. Like even now, I can't just be like, you know, a little pan seared. Like I will incinerate them in the air fryer and I can eat them that way. And I really like them that way. But it took a hot minute. But that's really about it.
I got you.
I'm not a picky girl. I'm a hungry girl right now, though,
well,
I'll tell you what.
For sure, but like you don't like I feel like there's like this dichotomy where it's like, you know, picky versus like having like a for real food aversion. Like for me, it is chicken fried steak. The minute I smell it, because of a nasty thing that I got when I was really young. And then this is just more of like maybe a genre seasoning, lemon pepper. the minute that I smell that from all of the times that I've got chicken food poisoning or shrimp food poisoning, but it was always seasoned lemon pepper. Nope.
Hmm,
Yeah, I hate lemon
I
and I
can
hate
see that.
pepper, so those are both
I
no-nos.
got it.
I don't mind them individually. Like I'll put lemon in my Diet Coke. I'll put pepper on like things that deserve pepper, but like together,
Mm.
mm-mm. Fuck that shit.
I do enjoy lemon pepper myself. Um, I don't like boiled okra. I don't know if I was sick. I have a vivid memory when I was a like very young child that my grandma made boiled okra and like I remember running to the bathroom. I don't know if it was the texture of it or if like I was just sick and happenstance, but like you could not pay me $1 million to even come near it.
I
God, it
don't
was like
even know what okra tastes like. Like I think I've like so obviously living in the South, like you have that as an option, like frozen, like a bag of a frozen okra. And I'm sure I bought it on occasion and just tossed it and stuff, and like it was fine. But Whole Foods has like part of their like I don't know what you call it. Like I call it a pickle complex where it's got like pickles and olives and stuff like that. Well, they got pickled okra, and swear to God, one of these days I want to fuck around and find out because like I love pickled things, and so I'm just like I bet that
I thought
slaps.
okra was
it probably does.
is it kind of a mix of like broccoli and a green bean?
Girl, I don't know.
No.
But it looks like when I say slimy, that's gonna like really do it a disservice. But like it does look like it has like a soft interior. But I honestly don't
It's
know.
like
It
a
wasn't part of my cuisine.
It's like a seed pod, so it does have that soft interior, but the
Yeah.
outside, I'm sure when you pickle it, would be very nice and crunchy and crispy. I like fried
Mm.
okra. It's just like I
Ooh.
think I think boiled anything is shit for the most part, like unless it's pasta. But I mean, I know
Can,
that
can you
I
say
don't think either
pasta again for me?
pasta. Did I say it with Garrett's accent? Pasta.
It
No,
sounds
you
similar
said it
to like
with like
Boston.
y- you sound it said it was like a Bostonian
Mm.
conviction. The way that you said it with like your chest, and I respected
Do
that.
I sound like that to you
I
guys? I hope I don't.
not at all.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Uh-uh.
Then deep
No.
serious apology if I were to. Ugh.
I don't think you've ever said any words where I'm like, "Oh, she's from Boston."
Not a
Truly.
single one of
If you
them.
came to the
Like
gym I work at, you would be like, "What the fuck?" Because, like, it's in Saugus, which is, like, right next to the city, and I didn't grow up
Mhm.
there, so, like, I feel like I was far enough away that it wasn't as heavy from where I grew up, but even my parents don't like that. No.
like
You say words differently than I would pronounce them, but it's not like an accent thing. It's like you say stevia, and I say stevia because, like, to me, it looks like, a man's name Steve or a woman's name Stevie with just like an "ia" instead of like just the E. So I always thought it was stevia, but you say stevia. But that's not like a
Yeah,
Boston thing. That's just like probably a preference thing.
pronunciation, yeah. I there's a lot of
Yeah,
words like that I feel like can go several ways.
for sure.
truly.
Arnold recap. What do we think, ladies?
I think it got a little too
Um
much hype with the drama afterwards that I get the point, and I think that, you know, maybe discussing it would have been one thing, but it, like, went viral, which was,
When can you clarify just so that way we're not
between,
like
what's his face? I'm having a brain fart moment.
Martin Fit?
Martin
Yeah,
and
Martin.
the
Okay,
dude that won. And
Andrew or Nick, you mean?
and Nick.
well,
Yeah.
more through him and Nick, but, like, and then Andrew was offering, like, a paid vacation after, like, he doesn't need your money, don't be petty like that, come on. Like, what
That's how
you're
I
poking the fucking bear doing that. See, I would've probably, like, apologized after, but then if someone did that to me, I would've been like, "Do you think I need your petty money? What the fuck?"
Dude, you know what that's the female equivalent of do you need a tampon?
Yeah.
Like,
well I
do you need a vacation? Here.
well that's I think different people had different like a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, that was so nice of him." And I'm like, "Was it though?" Because I took that as petty as fuck.
Right.
Like even Garrett I asked Garrett and he was like, "As a man, if another man offered to pay for us to go somewhere, I feel like that would be
That you can't
insinuating
afford
that
it.
I don't have."
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't think that was the nicest
And
thing to do. And now to be fair,
sorry, go ahead. He was like,
God,
"And if you want that set up, I'll have my assistant take care of it for you." Like, I can't be bothered. Oh, that one I thought was
like
that was a low blow.
I mean, here's the thing though, that because it was public was not genuine,
No, of course
right?
not.
Because you felt the need to like literally like he's already like his sponsors already pulled out. Like his girlfriend obviously like stood behind him, but also acknowledged that like his actions were just inappropriate. He eventually came out and said sorry, but clearly if you were in that much of just a bad state, like, you just need to be off social media for a while, and you do genuinely need help. And, like, I get his reaction was just inappropriate, and it was a bad look on him, a bad look on the sport, but also, like, he goofed,
He's
right?
human.
Like, he did goof. He's human, right? And so, like, obviously, like, if these things were done behind closed doors, like, it would have been resolved within the appropriate parties and the appropriate atmosphere. But because everything nowadays is put online, like, I agree with Laura. Like, it was all blown out of proportion to where, like, it almost gave me WWE vibes. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not that it's fake, but it's
I
fixed.
don't.
Where, like, go
I
ahead.
don't think that was worth him losing his sponsorship over either. That's kind of shitty.
I think it depends. I think if he was actively being a little bit more violent toward Nick Walker, that for me, I'd be like, "Listen, if you're, like, pushing and shoving people
Was that the
backstage, like,
case?
we're not paying." It's a rumor. It's a rumor. There was a rumor that he pushed and shoved Nick Walker backstage, and if that rumor is true, as a sponsor, I would not condone that behavior because,
I didn't
like,
hear that.
if we're, like if we're getting to the point where it's, like, we're touching other people, like, in a violent manner, like, mm-mm, mm-mm. But
That's
yeah, that's crazy, and I feel like it took away from, like, all the good physiques and all the good, like, winners
yeah,
and stuff like that.
and kind of Andrew's moment, you know, because people were already like paying
Mhm,
attention to that because that happened before it.
mhm, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mina, what do you think? Because 'Cause you're, like, a pro.
About, like, wellness in general,
About, like about the, like, professional status as a whole, like, that behavior, but then also, yes, I wanna hear your thoughts on, like, the wellness.
I think so I think it was definitely blown out of context. I can't necessarily speak on the sponsorship as like, I'm not, like, a business owner in that regard. Um, like you said, I think if it's getting to, like, hands-on physical, then reconsidering contracts is definitely up there. But in the same breath, like, it is a sport. Men are going to be men, and I'm not using that to excuse the behavior, but in, like, WWE, like, the Phil Heath and Kai Green kind of, like at the end of the day, it actually brings more attention to the sport. So is it bad on the sport? Like, all publicity is good publicity. That's kind of how I view it. I think sportsmanship goes a long ways, but I think it was all blown out of context. Like, at the end of the day, this sport is a business. If you're getting it exposure, whether it's positive or negative, exposure is exposure. And that might be a really, really hot take. But we're all talking about it still, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, um, that's kinda how I feel about that. And carrying yourself as a professional, I think, is important, but I think that's more on, like, my morality, not so much, like,
Mhm.
anything else. Now, when it comes to wellness, I was very excited to see this because I really like Rayanne. She is one of the more muscular wellness girls out there. She has downsized a little bit, but she was also super conditioned on stage. And to the point where I was like, there's no way she's going to win. Like, they're going to say she was too hard. Um, but she ended up winning, and she did get a little feedback, like, Tyler did that recap, and he was like, "She was a little on the hard side, but Lisa was a little on, like, the washed flat, like, not as conditioned side."
Mhm.
So, I like a super, super shredded wellness girl, so I love that for me. Rayanne didn't have the smallest waist on stage, like, she has a small waist, but it's not like this like, Elisa's waist is smaller, so it's just in a selfish way, it gave me a lot of hope of like,
Mhm.
okay, like from a genetic standpoint, her and I aren't too far off. Like
Mhm.
I think that's a really great direction for the sport to go. I was excited to see Alexis get third.
Mhm.
Um, Alexis and I competed together in 2019 in bikini, so it's been really fun to kind of follow her journey into the wellness world, and this was her best look by far.
Mhm.
So I like how all the places went, and it just gave me a lot of hope and insight into maybe what this season could look like and what is being rewarded. Um, Bikini I thought was interesting, though. I don't know,
Ooh,
Laura,
pray
if
tell.
Uh,
so,
ooh, what were you saying about me? My thought on bikini?
and yeah, I'd love to hear your and both of y'all, and then I'll share my
I'll go
opinion.
into both. So I think Rayanne looked fantastic. The only thing is when you put Rayanne next to the smaller wellnesses girls, she's not gonna win. They're still gonna beat her. The, Issa, Fran, and, fuck, Eduarda. They'll still all 3 of them beat her, so she'd end up being in a 4th or 5th place because none of those girls were there. But I do agree with you that, she's improved, she's downsized a little bit, she's coming harder, tighter. I think her overall presentation, look, everything together has improved a lot, and I really like her physique too. As far as bikini goes, um, I was surprised. I think that if you went so they tell you most of the time it's a comparative, like, of what it shows up, right? And I think that Ashlyn did herself a huge disservice with how she was posing. I think that she's actually a lot better than she, displayed herself. She was standing in a fucking split in her back shot, like, it was way too wide. If she had more balance of, like, her feet directly under her shoulders, her glutes would have looked even bigger than they do. She has a fantastic physique. She's another one that's, like, a harder physique for bikini, but has come a long way.
Mhm.
I love Amy's physique, but I felt she was almost a little soft in comparison from the backside, at least, to Laura Lee and Ashlyn, and the 2 of them were more comparable. If I had to choose, I would have give it to Laura Lee.
And that's what I found interesting as well, because listening to Tyler's recap, he said that Laura Lee could have been leaner. I was
Yeah.
like, I wasn't there,
Remember
but watching that live stream,
her
Laura Lee looked
yeah,
lean. She had the
Yeah.
glute fullness and like he even said like when they walked to the back, Laura Lee's glutes stayed nice and full. Or no, he actually said
They
that about Amy.
flattened. Yeah.
But he was like, Laura Lee can't put on any more size, but like wants fuller glutes. I'm like, well, where are we at there? And then kind of like said Amy doesn't need to bring up her upper at all. Ashley needs a little bit of leg. And I'm like, so which evil are we choosing? Overdevelopment or slightly underdevelopment? And evil is a relative word, but I would have given it to Laura Lee as well. I think she was the most balanced. Like I think Amy can still bring up her legs some. If you're gonna tell Ashlyn she needs to bring up her legs, you gotta tell Amy she's gotta bring up hers too. They are pretty similar
I
there.
would I would
Um,
say Amy was probably the most balanced head to toe. However, I don't think that necessarily makes her the most aesthetic physique. I love her shape.
where d
I love
where do you think Laura Lee was missing balance?
I think she looks a little bottom heavy. Top heavy.
I would
Uh,
ag I would agree, like, if I think if Laura Lee maybe had, like, more robust delts, she'd be a little bit more competitive with Amy. I do think Amy is very balanced head to toe, but, like, she does have small quads, right? Her quads are, like, very small compared to her glutes, and I think that's just, like, a posing thing versus if you look at Ashlyn, like, I think her front pose, the way her toe is angled, like, is a little bit off compared to, like, how Amy poses, and so it's, like, it's hard to, like, do a direct comparison, but I have, like, the top 3 compared right now on my laptop and looking at them, like, Laura Lee and Ashlyn are definitely the most conditioned from the
mhm.
back, but also, like, when it comes to the overall balance in the poses, like, I do think I agree with Amy, but again, at this level, and the fact that we're not there in person, it's still, 1, holy
They're all
shit,
great.
and 2, right, it literally is tit for
Yeah.
tat when it comes to this level and high caliber athlete, which is, again, I'm glad I'm not a judge, just a fan.
I wonder too with Laura Lee because I feel like they gave her chance at the Olympia last year and whatnot, but like she's not a favorite in like the political eye. So I wonder if as these other girls that are more favored are coming up, if that's going to be part of what hurts her.
Maybe.
Is it long enough from like her whole drama dilemma to have people put that thing behind them?
Mhm.
I I personally live in the camp. I don't think politics make that big of a difference. I don't. I think there's subconscious bias, but I don't think like from what I know, Laura Lee never did any like she got like a divorce,
Yeah.
but she didn't like do anything to put her in a compromised position from my knowledge. Um,
No, I'm not saying she did anything bad, but
but
there was a lot of drama revolving her, and who knows what's true anyways, but I think that a lot of times that being in the public eye, also being a competitor can get a lot of A lot of people don't like her, which I never really understood.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
there was drama there. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe. Kinda like Ashley Caldwell, like, I'm not an Ashley Caldwell fan. I'll just say it. I'm sorry, girl, and she ain't ever gonna hear this, but, like, she's ne I can't knock somebody for wanting to continue to compete, but it's almost to a point of, like, "Hey, you're not gonna either move to like, you're not doing anything. Like, you can't really grow." Like, she's probably in the gym just a little, like, bebop exercises. She can't grow at all. She's not gonna win an Olympia or an Arnold again. She can keep winning pro shows, which awesome on you. You've now like you have the record. Like I just feel like it's like don't isn't there other stuff in life you want to do and accomplish? Like aren't you more complex of a human being than
She
that?
even wants to be, like, stage lean year-round for the amount of shows that she does. How do you live it I
And
mean, I
that's
guess maybe once you achieve it, it's easier to maintain, but, like, there has to be a little disordered mindset with all of that.
and that's but again, like
I think it's
there's
more
gotta be more to your life.
Yes.
We don't know. But like don't like what else do you want to accomplish? Like, she's going on 40 years old,
Is she really?
like,
Well, you be
I'm
careful
pretty
how you
sure.
say that age, okay?
Ok I don't mean that in, like, she's an old lady, but I mean, like, competent like, this has been her life for 20
Bitch, if I had
years,
already
or,
Yeah, like, you're
I'd
talking, like, the
be
shelf
done.
life.
like, don't you wanna do something different? Like, even if it's just switching divisions, like, I understand being good at something, but, like
I don't know what
and
else she would do, though.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is not to play devil's advocate, this is like,
pottery,
I'm
something.
I mentioned it.
that bitch says pottery, but, like, do you feel the same about other athletes in their respective sports who are at the top or near the top of their division? So let me give you example, like, um, there's Joe Flacco, maybe not, like, the best quarterback out there, but he's, like, 40, and that's, like, old for a fucking quarterback,
Tom Brady.
right? Like, Tom Brady, another freaking great example, very much at that very top and kinda went out at the top, right, as the GOAT. Like, do you feel the same as those gentlemen in their respective NFL careers, knowing that they have played into their late 30s and early 40s? And again,
No,
genuine question, not like in a
no. This isn't, like we're talking when we're talking about professional football players at the top, we're talking about 10 to $60 million contracts,
Okay,
not just a $2,500 bikini show win.
okay.
And like I understand that she has sponsors. I also think as a football player, you, you got a little bit more wiggle room in life.
Mm.
Like you have a season, like you can
Mhm,
go on vacation, you can have other hobbies and interests in a family when you're bodybuilding at this level, at her level, I should say, for years and years on end, like, how do you have the ability to fortify your life in a
You
different way?
don't.
Like, no, and that's why I think she just keeps perpetually competing because she doesn't have anything else. And again, this is a hot take, and someone might think that I'm a terrible person for saying it, but it's the fact of the matter. Like, do you have meaningful relationships in your life that aren't just your coach? Do you have
mhm,
like what memory and yes, bodybuilding can bring such great memories, but,
mhm.
like, I don't know, I feel like maybe she's gonna look back when she's, like, 90 years old and be like, "Hey, I wish I would've tried something different." Like and then, like or even just take a year off
That's
and
true.
do something. Show us
Mhm.
another side of you versus, like, "Hey, I'm stage lean year round. This
So
is
you're saying
my."
like the Angelica, where it's like, Angelica had a good reign, a respectable physique, but then like she took a step back and she had a family.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And now she's like she did the commentary at the Arnold, like, she's still involved in the
She
sports,
came
but
back
she's a
too.
multifaceted individual.
She
Mhm.
left, she came
What?
back, she retired.
Well, that's like but probably because she was like, "Okay, there's more to life than bodybuilding, like, this
Mhm.
took so much away from my family, and I love the sport and I'm gonna do it, but I also understand that there's more beyond this, and I will probably be involved in this sport for the rest of my life." It's just like,
Different
I don't
ways.
and I've thought heavily about this if you can't tell, because it baffles me. I'm like, "Okay, you got, like, 60 pro show wins, like, what is your next goal?" Because, again, you're not ever going to be Miss Olympia or
Mhm.
win the Arnold again unless a handful of other people don't show up. Um, so I don't know. I just like to see athletes that have other things going on, that are passionate about other things. And you don't have to be passionate to the same extent, but like Ash really likes to bake. Um, Laura, you know what?
Venus. I got nothing for you
No,
besides work.
no, but you have dogs, you have a fiance, you guys go on vacations, like, you have things outside of bodybuilding. Maybe not like a super special interest, but you want to have a family, like, that still
My
counts.
bigger shift is
Um,
starting to be for other people. Like, I'm putting
and that's
myself behind
well,
science and everything else because that's my priority. I joke, but
and
Yeah,
that's
that's
a shift too.
yeah.
like, oh, I kinda went down a rabbit hole, and
Mhm.
I really I
No,
don't
I
mean it
mean,
in an ugly way, I just mean it in, like, it I don't
Let's bring her
know.
on. Fuck it. Let's see what she's got to say.
I it's good perspective for sure, especially because, like, again, I don't know her. I just know she's been doing this a really long time, which in one way is like, I mean, respectable as fuck, but also as people that have competed, obviously not at that high level, but knowing what it takes to still get competition lean and to have the pressure, and then also like social media pressure and maybe contract obligations. Like, maybe it's something where she doesn't have another avenue to fully express herself in the way that competing gives her. Like, again, this is just speculation. It's a big guess. And like, obviously, as coaches, like, we can give back the sport of bodybuilding by like taking good care of our athletes. We have the option of being like maybe like a show promoter or working a show in terms of like, doing the backstage stuff or whatever the fuck. Like, there are definitely ways to give back to the sport, but maybe those options aren't what she wants to do. And the best way that she knows how to do bodybuilding is just continuously competing, right? And obviously, it's not like the most maybe financial lucrative thing, but maybe for her it is. But yeah, I think it might be a good idea to like have her on and just like hear why she does it.
I think a lot of
I mean,
like,
if we can do it, why not? Um, I'll type up my questions, and I don't mean it in an ugly way. It's almost more like a concerning way. Like bodybuilding, eventually the stage will not be there for her. What is she going to do afterwards? And I think it almost sets an expectation to like other girls who look up to her that like that's not normal for everybody. You need other
oh,
avenues in your life. But what?
I'd say that's not normal for like 99.9% of people.
Right? And so like you need other things in your life because eventually time is going to run out with your ability to be on stage
I
and get like
I think it's a
eh,
very hard call to make that decision that it's like, okay, it's time to hang it up because, all of
For sure.
us, whether, not getting on stage, your life isn't going to significantly change. I can almost say that with certainty for, you're still going to train, you're still going to care what you look like, you're still going to eat well. That's just who you are if you've taken yourself this far in the game with bodybuilding, right? But then there is
Okay.
still that like identity crisis of like, who the fuck am I now? What the fuck do I do now? Like, where does my life go? What am I striving towards? What am I looking forward to? That is a huge shift. And I think that, that's actually a very under talked about topic within the industry of like how you do that, where you figure out your like purpose is and still maintain happiness with yourself.
And
it's,
that's just a maturity thing. That's just skin in the game, and that's not something that like you can fully experience until you gain years in wisdom and like start to grow up, right? Because I think when we're all in our young 20s and think that we're invincible or that like Canna bars, like Flintstone gummies, like that we just don't have consequences. But literally, like as cliche as it is to say, like once you get in your late 20s and early 30s, like your perspective and your brain literally matures and grows up. And this is where it's like you kind of want that diversified portfolio because if not, you will quit bodybuilding because you will burn yourself the fuck out. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the majority of people listening to us, like, you might have a very good work ethic, which thank God that you do, but you likely don't have the genetic potential to be the elite top, 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 right? In which case, like, it is something where, thank God I started baking again and started to, take pride in enjoyment, quite frankly, of being an anabolic housewife. I joke about that now because that's what I feel like. It's like I have a job, I have 2 jobs that I run, but, like, also it's not, like, going gangbusters where I feel like I can't breathe. Like, I was able to help Eric with the yard work and kick my own ass picking up brush. I started a fire by myself. That was really fucking cool, right? Like, I'm doing other things to, like, enjoy not only bodybuilding, but also the human experience of life. And, like, I know it's dumb to say, but you only get one. So, like, enjoy it, make the most of it, try new things, but, like, if you're gonna bodybuild, know that this shit takes so fucking long that it needs to fit within the macro scope of your life, not be the only thing in your life because, like, that obsession doesn't get you more results. It doesn't, right? Like, thinking more about bodybuilding doesn't make you a better bodybuilder.
And that's it could possibly come off like, okay, well, none of these girls are at her level, so what do they know? And it's like, while we may not be at her level, we've all lived the experience of being stage lean. There's only so much you can experience. Like, I don't care how easy your prep is, how easy it is for you, quote unquote, to maintain being stage lean. Like, there's a level of cognition, emotion, and like real human experience that no, like you can't have when you're that lean. Like, you
Mhm,
can try your bestest to make the most of it,
mhm,
but it's just not the same. And yeah, I like your comment of like it not being the macro scope of your life. And I fell into that camp for the longest time. Like I still eat, sleep, breathe bodybuilding, but like I also eat, sleep, breathe other stuff in there too.
mhm,
Like I burned myself out and then I ended up taking 2 years off and it allowed me balance is such a relative word, but I gave myself the opportunity to explore other interests.
mhm,
I love to garden. Do I have as big of a garden now that I have other priorities in bodybuilding? No. I still have like a few things here and there, but allowed me, I'm like, dang, I really like this. And the
mhm,
time that I took off, my garden was crazy. I really like to sew. Have I had time to do that recently? No, but I also know that it's there waiting for me when I get done or when I have the time. So I'm like, I have all these other interesting things about me that I'm excited to explore. Um, I think taking that time is kind of crucial, especially if you start bodybuilding young. Like, make sure you're making time to live.
I think you need to approach everything in kind of phases. Like, so anytime you want to be really good or really successful, there's going to be a requirement of self-sacrifice to get to that point, whether it's bodybuilding, coaching. Like, I think that, there is a time and place for that to need to be your eat, breathe, and sleep type of mentality for whatever it is you're working towards. But you cannot stay in that state forever.
Correct.
it's literally like, you have to learn how to be a bodybuilder, and that is not gonna be automatic when you don't know how to do that shit yet. It's gonna take a lot of energy, mental stamina, presence, but that can be said of brushing your teeth. I'm sure you had to remember to do equal left, equal right and top and bottom, brush your tongue, right? It takes time to learn how to hold a pencil, right? Like, remember we all started with those fucking fat grips that like made your hand cramp, and then you got to graduate to like a normal wood pencil and then like a fucking mechanical pencil, right? You don't just go in fucking kindergarten and they give you a mechanical pencil or a fucking pen and is like, right. No, you learn to trace the letters with the fat fucking pencil, and I feel like bodybuilding is very similar. It's like you learn how to stay on a diet. You learn how to go from going to the gym to exercising to working out to full-on training. These are all stepwise progressions that take a certain level of mental stamina and fortitude to level up, and that, like Laura says, that's going to take time. But once that shit becomes more routine and automatic, it shouldn't be all you think about and all you do because, like, that will burn you the fuck out. You gonna
I
add
feel
to
like
that,
it,
Laura?
I'm thinking more of like the stage of people to the level of Ashley that like want to get to that position. Like, that's not a just beginner thing. That's until you get to the goal. But once you get to the goal, there's maybe a couple runs at it and then you need to scale it back. I don't know how that for the
that's,
business. I'm still figuring that out and trying not to lose my sanity in the process, but it's very consuming.
Mhm,
well, that's to be at that level, of course. Like, I think to Ash's point, like, it's a process. Like, no, I've not been on the Olympia stage. I haven't won Olympia titles. I'm not there with Ash, but I've accomplished a goal that a lot of people set out to do
Yeah,
and maybe never will. And I was able to do it with like that relative balance because I learned how to be a bodybuilder. Like, yes, there was non-negotiables and like boxes that I ticked off and like, but it also wasn't like I still maintained my relationship. I still made friends. Like I still like did stuff. And that's not everybody is going to be an Ashley Callbuster, and I think leaving, like, the best years of your life to be all consumed like, yes, take your learning curve, but also figure out how to live in between the
For sure.
lines, and I
mhm,
think that's really important, so you don't look back on bodybuilding with resentment, and be like, "I spent my entire early 20s instead of, like, doing early 20s people shit, like, which I'm not saying, like, you need to go out and drink every single weekend, like, there's caveats to all these things, but you don't wanna get into, like, your 30s and be like, "Wow," like, I didn't do the things that, like, I really wanted to do." Um so I think it's just important for everyone to kind of find that balance. And balance is such a relative term. Have your learning curve, but still be a person beyond the stage. And whether you want to or not, like fortify it in some aspect, even when you're in the depths of bodybuilding. Like I said, my garden looks like shit. Like I have two plants. Well, there's nothing right now because it's winter. But like talking about last season, was it as bountiful and beautiful as maybe my previous years when I wasn't really engulfed in competing. No, but it was still something that like it was a peace of mind that like it was quite literally living that like didn't die off with everything else. Um, so a little metaphorical, but it really meant a lot to me to kind of hold on to that. And like, I don't care if this cucumber looks like it's gonna die, I'm gonna water it anyways. Um, Try to keep it alive.
But
It looked so ugly this year, but
watch us reach out to her. She comes on the show and she's like, "Oh yeah, I travel all the time. I'm eating like 2,500 calories a day. I just like look like this." I'd be like, "Okay, fuck me."
I mean, that's the thing though, right? Like, that's what we don't know because we are only talking about what we are just
Yes.
shown, right? And that also is, like, just another aspect of, like, not believing everything that you see on social media and Instagram because, like, we really don't know her real life. We're just kind of speculating and talking, right? But it is also a good reminder to, the audience and the listeners that, like, what you see is not always the full entire truth. Um and also it's like to take time and to have seasons and to work hard. Like you can work hard, find balance, enjoy bodybuilding and perform at a higher level, but at some point you're going to have to fiddle with the dials where if you want to perform at a high level, well that balance dial is going to have to turn back, right? And minus cucumber that sexual innuendo is a perfect example. When she wasn't her bodybuilding dial wasn't on full fucking blast like it is now, her garden dial was a lot fuller and now that she's prepping for, her pro debut and she's wants an O qualification, well, guess what? She's got 2 plants now. So her garden dial is less, her bodybuilding dial a lot fucking more. And that does just come again through maturation, right? Through figuring out like what do you actually want out of your quality of life. For me, I love training. Food is great. Like I love being a big bitch. I don't necessarily know if I want to get stage lean again and compete, but I might do a sexy photo shoot. I don't know. But like, I'm talking years because all I want to do right now is grow and turn other dials up while keeping my bodybuilding dial set to making quality, consistent progress, but not all that I do.
I like it a lot. Um Yeah, I know I feel like I started that tangent, but I think it's a pretty important topic because there's a lot I have a lot of young girls where I'm like, "Hey, like, you're missing the for like, we've talked about it before, missing the forest for the trees." I'm like, You learned how to be a bodybuilder, now we, like, need to do other things in life,
Mhm,
like,
mhm,
while you're doing this. You're 23 years old, sis. Like, you have so many experiences to gain, and I don't want you to look back and be like, "Wow, so, like, I really just hyper fixated on food and steps for 5 years," when, like,
mhm,
go get your steps at the park. Like, there's different ways to, like that's what I do. Garrett and I have been doing a lot of hiking and, like, taking the dogs to the dog park because it's good for the dogs, it's good for
mhm.
us, we get outside, like, there's things that we can do to kind of keep those dials like on a little bit. They don't always have to be always shut off. Now, maybe like your last 2 weeks going into a show, everything else turns off. But
It's just because nothing else can turn on. Yeah.
mm,
You're, like,
uh,
flicking the
it,
the the on light, and you're like, "Oh, no, this shit's broken."
You know, it's oh,
include.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make a joke. I'm like, nothing can turned on, including you.
Including
Uh,
you.
I was bodybuilding very much attracts type A personalities, and that's why people are so like obsessive, 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 and like don't know how to have that. I went through this with a girl recently. We've worked together for a year and a half. She's lost 60 pounds. And then now that we finally made that big jump and she's like not quite to the goal, it's burnout because they want to experience life and have more flexibility, which is when you say, okay, we need to step back and stop working towards the goal for a little bit, live a little bit, and then return back, as opposed to just fuck bodybuilding altogether.
Mm,
and
yeah, like the seasons, essentially.
Exactly.
It's like again, it's like it's not even that is she still not working toward the goal because in a way she is, because you still kept her in the game. Right? That's the thing is like how long can you play the game to where you want to be here, right? It's not like, "Oh, I have to because I have to accomplish this goal and check off a bucket list item." It's like, "No, I genuinely want to be here, but I want to take an opportunity since we, lost 60 pounds, which congratulations, that's a huge fucking accomplishment. But also now is maybe a good time to really focus on muscle growth and not always
Yeah.
push for more and more and more fat loss. And guess what takes a really long fucking time? Muscle growth, right? So you can still be in the gym, be a bad bitch, push hard, eat enough protein, eat enough carbs, and maybe recomp, but have that flexibility in that recomp where if you want an extra free meal, it's not going to hinder your progress. And you're also not pushing for, consistent surplus where if you have extra free meals, now you're just getting fat.
Yep.
Right, and, like, there's a way to navigate that, but you know what you don't wanna do? Fire your coach, and I'm gonna do my off season on my
Yep.
own because that emotional instability and the ability to enjoy life and also coach yourself, very, very few people can do successfully.
That actually happened. Not that she fired me, but she had been in a year contract and like told me she wanted to take some time to like self coach. Da, da, da. It lasted like a week and a half. Came right back. This wasn't the right decision. Da 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 da. I need your help. Awesome, happy to. And what we honestly
Mhm,
did as a resolution to all this is I gave her macros and said, and I'm not making a meal plan for her. She's making meal plans and sending them to me. Gives her that like
mhm,
sense of control and being able to make some decisions for herself, which I think is good for any client once we've been working together for a while to learn those skills to be down the line without me and successful. And pulled her into maintenance calories, like you were saying, to try to recomp a little bit that, she's
mhm,
not feeling run down or whatever. We upped it to 2 free meals a week and she's happy now.
mhm. Dude, that's even something that, like, literally I just started offering is, like, a coaching check-in once a month where we hop on a Zoom call for 30 to 45 minutes, and that's how we do our check-in. But, the leading up, like 3.5 weeks, they're implementing their programming, but we're not checking in every fucking week because you might have whoops days or whoops weeks, but at the end of the day, like, you're able to be more consistent, and it's really good for those hyperfixators where we just need to do simple redundancy and get more reps in the tank, right? And that's something where it's like, obviously, it's a little bit cheaper as well, so if you are wanting to, get your toes wet with coaching or, off-season bodybuilding and you're still kind of like figuring things out, that might be a good first stepping stone before jumping all into specifically one-on-one coaching where we're checking in every single week. Because like some people, one, might not need that attention, and two, it might end up being worse for them because if they have like a bad week and we're having to change things, then they fucking spiral and can't handle it. So like there are so many ways, like long story short, there's so many ways to like be successful. But at some point, depending upon what your level of success is in bodybuilding, that really requires your dials to be a little bit imbalanced.
Yep.
I think it should always be kind of like, no, you go.
I really try to avoid that happening because I know how easy it is to like go down the rabbit hole of obsession. I've been there, I've done that, I've come out, and thank God it took me a long time. And I
Hmm.
really try to avoid women in general. Like it doesn't even matter the age. As soon as you start to see progress, you want to like exacerbate that as far as you can, but then lose yourself in the process.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's hard. It's a very
Yeah,
hard mental navigation.
Hmm.
for sure.
Are we ready for
It's
fun questions, or is there any final
Bring
thoughts?
it.
I love
Any
fun
final
questions.
thoughts? No?
I mean, I love an analogy to put kind of a little bow on it. Life and your seasons in bodybuilding should be like a DJ. They're always turning the dials depending on what the given goal is. So they should never just be cranked and set for years to come. So I think having someone like Laura, Ash, myself that can kind of help you navigate when and where and how to turn those dials can be very beneficial. And I really like your point, Ash, about like maybe you don't need every single week, maybe just once a month. Um, I really like all that. So live your life like a DJ, babe.
I like the less check-ins, especially too when you've worked with someone for a while and they want to go the opposite direction of having a little more.
Yeah, it's like you still have accountability and guidance without, again, like, "Oh my god, I have to take off my clothes and take a picture for coach." It's
Yep.
like, I know there are some, like, hardcore bodybuilders where it's like, "You better fucking like checking in with your coach." It's like, okay, yes, but also that doesn't mean that they want to check in every single week, because if the whole point is getting them to be consistent within their programming, within their life, like us checking in every single Tuesday, that might be actually more of a hindrance to their
Right.
life. It might be more of an interruption.
Especially for people with like 9 to 5 type jobs. I hear it a lot actually that it's stressful for them, especially if it's in the middle of the week and multiple
Yeah,
times a week and all of the things. So like I always try to work with that. And I remember
yeah.
when I was really struggling with like health issues and reaching out to a coach that I had all intentions of hiring. And I said to him, I'm really struggling with getting on the scale. Is there any way that we could do that less frequently or like another means of measure? Because like every time I get on the scale, I feel like a failure. And he said to me, you need to get over it. And I said, you're not the coach for me.
Yeah, and that's where, especially, I assume it was male. Of course, it was male. It's like there are a lot of like things where if you're just like, there's at a point where you need to be flexible as an athlete and be coachable, but also be a flexible as a coach and understand that like if an athlete is truly scared and experiencing like some type of reaction to like your methods and you can't pivot or adapt, but yet you're asking them to pivot and adapt, it's like we gotta meet
And this
them
was years ago, but
somewhere.
to my point,
Well, sure, Laura, but, like, just because it's years ago doesn't mean it still isn't happening.
but my point being is 4 years later, I still remember it. So
Yeah,
it was
exactly,
substantial enough at the time.
exactly, and on that sad fucking note, what kind of food stand would you open?
Ooh. I can see myself at, like, a little tiki shop on the beach with, like, fruit and stuff and living my best life. It's either gonna
Like, you'd be, like, cutting
yeah,
pineapple and
it's
watermelon and, like,
either that
serving
or
them out
ice
of the
cream, like, I can go far left or far right.
I love that. So fruit stand or, like, soft serve or is it hand dipped?
Oh, we're going soft serve, yeah, definitely.
Okay, she's like, "I'm not using these guns. These guns are retiring." Alright, what about you, Mina?
Vegetables for sure, or like vegetables and fresh cut flowers.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I love gardening so much. I know I've talked about it a lot today, but I am this weekend. I'm gonna like start to get my materials because I think we had our last freeze. But I would definitely have a little vegetable stand, maybe little things that I make with my vegetables, like a homemade
Mhm.
salsa. Just like
Ooh,
farmers market
Love
vibes.
farmers
Because I like.
markets. Love
I love that.
What
I
about you?
would
Wait, Ash? I know the answer. I feel like I know the answer. To this.
Here's your
go
It
ahead,
would be.
tea,
guess.
here's your trend.
Laura's like, "Roid stand."
It would be your baked goods, your
It
cookies.
would be. I would do cookies with a hot coffee or a cold brew.
Ooh.
Just keep it real
Mm.
You
simple,
should
but to have that
try to get yourself into some of those, like, if it's a
Yeah, the
farmer's
good
market
stuff.
or, like, what's the other thing that's like craft fairs? If in person, that would be cool.
that's not a bad idea. I definitely am doing more just, like, word of mouth local things, and I have, like, been talking to, like, this gamer guy that has, like, an arcade place where it's, like, a bunch of, like, awesome sweat lords, like, going hard on Dungeons& and Dragons, and I'm like, "My brothers, I will fuel you for your quests with cookies and baked goods." So
Crush.
that is it is in the works, but yeah, I would say just, like, keep it simple and just, like, cookies and coffee because that's just such a good combination.
Yeah, it is,
Next question, did you build forts when you were a kid?
Yes.
for
What did they
sure.
look like?
They were always couch forts, like,
Okay.
with the you're using your blankets and comforters and all pillows
Mhm.
and all that, yeah.
What about you,
Uh,
Mina?
I grew up on a farm, so I would make forts out of hay bale. Like when we get like a fresh delivery of hay bales, just rearranging them to have like a little nook for
Are
myself.
you an only child?
Um,
Do you have any siblings?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what do I act like an only child?
No, I was just curious if you had like a brother or sister to like play with.
No. I wish I did, but
Hmm.
what about you, Ash? What were your forts made out of?
So definitely, they would always be in the basement because basement forts slap. We would be using like chairs. We'd get like the big blankets, and we had blankets, pillows, and stuff like that. We'd have like flashlights and stuff, and we'd have like, oh, this is the hangout room. This is where we're gonna sleep. Did forts all the fucking time. Fucking loved it. Last question: crunchy or smooth nut butter?
I think it depends on the nut butter.
Okay,
I
go ahead.
think
Plead your case.
if we're going like cashew butter, smooth all the way. Almond butter, I also like smooth. Peanut butter, I like crunchy. Especially if you're making like a PB&J, it gotta be crunchy because if not,
Mm,
what do you like? Where's the texture?
I got you. You could get it from the bread if you're a bougie bitch, but if you're using sourdough, yeah, I see you.
I'm a smooth
I
gal.
don't know.
I really,
What about you,
I'm a
Laura?
smooth gal, but I'm more of a. I don't really eat multiple nut butters. I'm an almond butter through and through. I can see your point with peanut butter, but I don't really like it as much.
Yeah, I
No.
like crunchy peanut and crunchy almond butter. I get a blended nut butter from Costco. It's called Nutso. Dog, it's loaded. It's got like pumpkin seeds, I think chia seeds, Brazil
Mm.
nuts, almonds, I think cashews. It's like
Everything.
a robust butter. It's got everything. It's really, really tasty. And I would say it's smooth, but because it's so many different nuts, there's definitely like a good texture going
Pretty.
on. Cashew butter, though, I can't say that I've had it recently enough to have an opinion, but probably smooth. Walnut butter, definitely smooth. I love walnut
I don't think
butter.
I've ever had it.
Dude, it's so easy to make. You just toast the walnuts and then just blend it. And it,
I like.
plus you can make it taste like you could put cinnamon and stevia in it and like add it to like oatmeal with raisins.
Ooh,
Chef's
up
kiss.
my alley with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Absolutely. All right, those are my 3 questions. Do y'all have anything?
I said I was gonna prepare and like have some questions because I want to be involved too. This is like one of my favorite parts of the podcast, but I don't.
If you had to be a baked good, what would you be?
Okay, when you say baked good, can you give me a working definition? Like, is this something that has to be like solely out of a bakery? Are we talking pastries, handhelds, fork? Like,
Yeah,
I need
bakery style,
guidelines.
like cookies, cupcakes, muffins, all the things.
Okay.
Scones.
I do love a scone. I really do.
I don't think
Like
I've ever.
that's oh, you're in your low growing phase. You and Josh should
I
definitely
love
have a little
muffin.
coffee scone day.
What would you say scones
It
are?
like almost biscuity texture.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, maybe a little bit drier. You definitely want like an apparatus to dip it in. It's not like quite on biscotti type of hard, but it's a very very dense dough.
It
We
is
like
super
dense dough.
dense.
That's how I like my pizza. That it's like doughy.
I
That's
think you would
Laura's
really
rapper
like
name, dense dough.
dense dough.
I love it.
Okay, so scone, I see you.
Wait,
That's
I'm not
so hard.
choosing scone. It just sounds delicious.
Oh,
Sorry.
Prep brain
Oh,
kicking in.
I'm so hungry so fast, which like good sign, but I'm like, okay, we got here a little bit quicker than anticipated. But okay. What are you gonna be, Ash?
like obviously the default wants to be like a really good chocolate chip cookie that's got like chunks and flaky sea salt. So it's like a nice like gourmet cookie. But honestly, like as much as that sounds good, I don't think that's really who I am. And so I'm going to have to answer honestly and be a like chunky oatmeal raisin. Like
Yes.
just oh, just slurp it up because I love oatmeal raisin stuff. Like I have the protein powder that I will make like creamies with. The baked oats was oatmeal powder, like the oatmeal cookie from Evogen, I think. That's a good protein powder.
You don't have to plead your case to me. I love an oatmeal cookie. Garrett
Mhm.
calls me a grandma all the time. I'm like, they're just so fucking
They're
good.
so good. They're so freaking good. Mm.
Okay, so oatmeal raisin, Laura.
I'm a hard, like, torn in the middle for a soft baked chocolate chip cookie, and I like doughy cookies or a blueberry muffin. Like, my heart is split in half. I eat them
Mm.
both
My intuition told me.
daily currently, so I'm a very happy person. Have you guys ever tried, you probably, I wouldn't imagine Ash would, but have you ever tried the Sweet Loren's, it's like the pre-made cookie dough and you just break and bake them? They're gluten-free, dairy-free.
I have,
That's been my
and they were so, so good until Garrett started baking. And his cookies are just like up here. And like he didn't like we had like a dessert and he got a pack of the Sweet Lawrence and we were like, oh, these are like okay. But
You're reading on my parade
um
right now. Well, do you when he bakes, how do you bake gluten-free cookies that are actually good?
with gluten-free
Really? You
bread
just
flour
yours
and
tasting?
yeah,
Huh,
they're
try that.
next time he makes them, I'm gonna have to send you some. Like they're okay, you know my coach Justin.
Mhm.
I think you kind of know
I
Justin
know,
plays now
yes.
games.
I know Justin, yes.
Just Justin gave it a like 8.5 or something on the Dave Portnoy pizza scale. Um And, like, which I don't know if you're familiar with that either, Laura, but it's, like, it's literally impossible to get a 10,
Mhm.
or he might have given it a 9. But the point is, like, people who don't eat gluten-free, they're still like, "These are really fucking good
Okay.
chocolate chip cookie." Like, they're
Yeah,
he's very
I'm a little scolded from gluten-free bread because any of it sucks. I have
oh, yeah.
yet to try any gluten-free bread that is good. So that's why when I saw these, I was like, okay, so maybe because I'm baking them, they'll be soft and how I want them in the oven. I just need to be mindful of like timing. And they're good. They're really good. I eat like 2 of them a day. They're really
Mm.
good. But
All right, Laura, let
Yeah.
me ask you this because you're not pissing me off. I feel challenged to make a good like gluten-free
let me
bread and
out.
good gluten-free cookies because I'm like it can't just suck, right? Like I hate that for you guys because I'm like over here like down in loaves of bread, just a happy motherfucker, and you're like bread sucks, and I'm like,
Gluten free
I make my
is
so
own.
not good.
what is it that you're looking for in your bread? Like, tell me,
I just like fluffy bread.
fluffy. So you want a fluffy gluten-free
Yeah.
bread?
Laura, get a bread maker. So,
Do
like,
you think I have
it's
time
real
to do
easy.
this?
It doesn't take it literally
Not like
look, it
sourdough
literally
that it's
takes
like
no time.
having a baby.
Fuck no. It's like it's a machine. You literally just dump the ingredients in, you don't stir it, and you hit a button and it does all the like spinning,
Oh,
it does the rise, it does the
wow.
proving. It takes like 2.5 hours. Like my mom got me one for Christmas. We don't buy bread. We make our own pizza dough. Like
Honestly,
it's not it
I feel like I could eat gluten no problem if it's homemade stuff. It's when you start going and buying it out that it's got like all the other things. And like granted, there's some places like a bakery or probably even Whole Foods. I'm sure that their breads have like decent quality to like what's
Oh, it's so good.
ingredient
It's
wise.
so
But it's
good.
when you go and have like, the fucking Sara Lee's sitting on the shelf that you're like, why is my whole body swollen? That's maybe
Mhm.
yeah.
because I don't have celiac. I don't even have a gluten intolerance, but I physically feel a difference when I eat it as far as like my hands and feet and face swelling.
And
Mm.
it's I will send you some stuff whenever Garrett decides to bake again.
Alright,
I'll just ask him to
no.
bake. He's got some recipes he wants to try, and I no longer can be the cookie taste tester.
Yo, bitch.
So, but we made like some really good pizza. We've made ciabatta rolls, like, and I think whether like whether it's gluten free or not, when you make that shit at home, it really does not take that much effort, and it tastes so
Excellent.
It
much
really does.
better. So much better. I do wanna say what baked good I wanna be. I wanna be a fat ass cinnamon roll
Oh,
with a gooey
Ooh.
center,
oh,
the crispy flaky tops, and it's gotta be it can't just be like sugar icing, it's gotta be a cream cheese frosting.
okay. We
Because
see you.
I don't think I met a single person who doesn't like a cinnamon roll. Um,
Mm-mm.
God, they're so
I
good,
do. I like them.
right?
Mm.
I have made some really good gluten-free cinnamon rolls at home too. We went we had this like it was like ice cream for breakfast day, and Garrett and I participated. And there was a local baker that is like pretty big in the gluten free scene, and we got cinnamon rolls. And Garrett was like, yours are so much better than this." And it was
Dude, when
like
you fuck up a cinnamon roll,
it wasn't even fucked up. It was just like meh. Like, you could get it at, the Walmart. It probably would be better if you got it at the Walmart bakery. It was just meh. It was, like, kinda one note. The frosting wasn't a cream cheese frosting, which I think universally not everybody likes the cream cheese frosting, whatever. But it was also 9 freaking dollars for a cinnamon roll. So I was like, "Garrett, so when you gonna start selling your gluten-free, dairy-free goods? Because we got a side hustle there."
Mm,
$9
that's
for a little cinnamon roll.
damn.
Ash too, you could venture into the gluten-free, dairy-free world and,
I
like,
might start
I
trying.
bet you would have a lot of interest.
I'm sure I
I
would. I'm just not adding fucking protein powders. So don't ask me to make my macro-friendly bullshit, but I will try to start doing gluten-free and potentially dairy-free.
I wonder, can you
Um,
make use like potato flour, like potato bread? I'm sure that would be.
I'll have to research the different types of flours because they will have like different
Yeah.
absorption of the liquid and different reactions to like the Mylar baking process. So I'll look into it, but I'm definitely not doing the macro friendly bullshit because I'm
Bread
like,
is
just
bread.
eat a
full
goddamn
sugar, full
cookie.
fat.
I feel like most
Yeah.
breads are like pretty equal calorie. It's really like the portion size. Bread is pretty
Some
standard,
of
depending on, unless it's
some
like
of the
added stuff to it.
It
some of the bread
depends. Go ahead, Mina.
some of the bread recipes that I have done, they do have potato starch in it, but for the most part, with like all the gluten free experiments that Garrett and I've done, we either just use King Arthur's measure to measure,
Yeah.
or we use the King Arthur's bread flour. The King Arthur's bread flour does contain wheat, but it's like a deglutenized wheat. So if someone has a wheat allergy, they can't have it. But if you have a gluten intolerance or a gluten allergy, like it doesn't bother me at all. And it's, like it just has, like, more I don't know. I don't know what's in it, but it works, and he does, like, part bread flour, part measure for measure. I think it might have a little more xanthan gum in it for that, like,
Yeah.
stickiness, but, it's really fun. I and that's, again, another reason why I, like, have interests outside of bodybuilding, because Garrett would have never known, like, I feel like the pipeline to bodybuilding and Baker is, like, also something that needs to be studied, something that needs to be Jesus Christ. Um,
All right, Ash.
but yeah.
Gluten-free challah bread. Make it happen.
Dude, Laura, I literally almost texted you. I bought matzo crackers at
Mm,
Costco,
yeah.
so I have a box of these giant ash Jewish crackers.
If you're gonna,
They're like
what are you
this
putting
big.
on them to eat them?
Hummus, goat cheese. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting like Gillette fish or however the fuck you say it, but like I don't I don't know if that's supposed
Filter
to go
fish
on
is what
there.
you're trying to say. So as a
About
Yes.
that.
kid, and it's actually
Yes.
good. I would still eat it to this day. And it's probably sound weird, but we would put whipped cream cheese and like grape jelly one on top of the
It
So
sounds good.
yeah, so like goat cheese. Goat cheese is my cream cheese. But goat cheese and jelly would
It's
absolutely go on that.
actually
I might try
so
that
good.
tonight. Mm.
Ma
It's
Matzo and goat cheese is what if you put, like, a little, like, fig on there too with a
mm.
little drizzle of honey?
My fig tree is blooming, but she won't be ready until July.
Have you guys ever had
Ash,
well bread?
I don't think I've
no.
had the
It's really
pleasure.
good.
It looks amazing though. It's like
I feel
the
like,
yeasted dough that's, like, braided and
but it's
plaited.
an egg bread, so it's very sweet. Like I feel like a lot of different cultures do this. It's like the same thing, only call it something different.
Mm, I'm
So is it like
down.
similar to brioche then?
Yes.
But like, okay, dude, brioche is
Yeah.
good.
Little sweeter.
Mm,
Mm,
okay.
but
Almost
I
like
grabbed my
Hawaiian
computer and I was gonna ask you, Ash, when your fig trees bloom, I would love a gluten-free fig Newton.
bread.
I fucking love fig Newton.
Dude,
I
fig
know you
Newtons slap. So
they slap
I will do
titties.
gluten free
Ash has so
titties.
much work cut out for her now.
I really do, which is fine.
Yes.
Honestly, I've made fig Newtons before. They're not as hard as like it seems daunting because you have to like make like biscuit dough and then like kind of make like a fig jam, but it's honestly not that hard.
I don't like
I got you.
jam that much, so if you want to send me just the dough, I'm good.
Oh, it's really it's not like jam. It's just like
I'm just kidding.
it's just the fake paste,
Yeah.
I guess. But like I called it jam because legally, if I bake a good and sell it with fruit, it has to be made into a jam or jelly.
That makes sense.
So
All right,
the more you know.
chiquitas, now that we've touched upon literally left, right, up, down,
Let's
salt.
see, IFBB pros to fucking matzo goat cheese crackers, everything in between. This podcast has it all. Ladies, catch you next week. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll catch you next Friday.
Bye, ladies.
Love you
Bye.
guys. Bye.